Tonight, for the first time, you will see 3M executives on video and under oath shedding light on decades of questions involving the company's role in creating toxic forever chemicals.
For decades, 3M dumped waste in the East Metro, which contaminated the drinking water of more than 100,000 people and led to a landmark lawsuit and settlement. That community is still dealing with the fallout. But tonight, Fox 9 investigator Nathan O'Neill gives us a rare perspective from inside the company itself.
The Fox 9 investigators reviewed hours and hours of never-before-seen video, testimony from 3M executives, scientists, and government workers, all talking about what we now know as one of the most significant environmental contaminations in Minnesota history. We obtained these recordings through a public records request, and the tapes reveal what the company knew and when they knew it. These are recorded testimonies.
It is deeply troubling to you, right?
Yes.
Hundreds of witnesses under oath.
I've said it now twice. It was not a concern.
Float on top of the fire and smothering the flame.
All questioned about Minnesota manufacturer 3M.
Scotchgard brand stain repeller.
How it handled the production and disposal of so-called forever chemicals.
Has it been treated with Scotchgard brand stain repeller?
And the science surrounding it.
Another fine product of 3M Company.
Here begins tape number 1 in the matter of State of Minnesota et al. Versus 3M Company.
The tapes are part of a 7-year legal battle, a since-settled lawsuit led by former Minnesota Attorney General Lori Swanson.
It was knockdown, drag-out litigation.
That smacks of bad faith.
It was the most contentious litigation I've been involved in.
You're going to tell me? Put your finger down. Put your finger down.
You're pointing at me, Mr.
Put your finger down. Don't raise your voice at me.
3M made these chemicals. 3M disposed of these chemicals, and now these chemicals are in every single human being's blood alive on the planet today.
3M first began producing PFAS chemicals in the 1950s and eventually sold those products around the world.
This cushion is protected by Scotchgard stain repeller.
They're commonly known as forever chemicals because they do not break down over time.
Now from 3M comes Scotch brand oven liner, a new product that protects your oven.
Scotchgard was the blockbuster product that 3M made for decades, but it's in everything from dental floss to mascara, women's makeup, to cooking pans, you name it.
The company dumped PFAS-contaminated waste primarily at 4 locations in the Twin Cities East Metro. It was a practice backed by 3M executives.
And you recall that 3M had disposed of waste at the Oakdale site, right?
That's correct.
They knew in the 60s that they were getting into the water, that they were contaminating the water, yet they kept doing it anyway.
In the early 60s, that was a common way of disposal.
The chemicals would eventually seep deep into the ground, contaminating the drinking water of more than 170,000 people. A reality the Fox 9 investigators have documented for years.
Here in the East Metro, we have a lot of contaminated groundwater.
The chemicals have since been linked to a host of health risks, including cancer. In a recent statement, 3M says it has and will continue to take action to address PFAS across the company. 3M adding that it has widely shared its own research on forever chemicals.
All the monkeys died in the first study, right?
That's correct.
In these recorded depositions, 3M researchers are repeatedly asked about those studies, including an experiment performed on monkeys in 1978.
That would be of some concern for human beings, right?
Objection form.
You know, depending on the dosage, yes, it could be.
Some of those studies they covered up for decades.
This internal memo shows independent scientists first alerted 3M they found PFAS in human blood, and that Scotchgard was a likely source of the contamination back in 1975.
There always was a concern about the presence of the materials in the worker's blood, and there was a bigger concern when it was found in the general population.
After 3M confirmed PFAS was in human blood, the company's attorneys urged them, quote, not to release the true identity of the source.
The 3M lawyers said, don't tell anybody, to the 3M scientists, don't let anybody know that it's our chemicals in people's blood. That alone, that activity by 3M, set back scientific understanding about these chemicals for an entire generation.
What was your job title?
Ecological toxicologist.
A top 3M researcher testified he was concerned about how 3M had conducted research into forever chemicals for decades.
You were a whistleblower, right?
Oh, no, watchdog.
Watchdog.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Dr. Richard Purdy wrote this resignation letter in 1999, describing his, quote, profound disappointment in 3M's handling of the environmental risks associated with the chemicals.
You say 3M waited too long to tell customers about the widespread dispersal of PFAS in people and the environment, right?
That's what I said, yes.
And you felt guilty about that, didn't you?
Yes.
3M announced a year later it would phase out some, but not all PFAS chemicals.
Can you explain why, by the time you would decide to phase out of the business, you still hadn't notified the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency or the Department of Health of the perfluorinated chemical issues?
Objection to form.
I really can't answer it. I don't know.
If you're a chemical company and you have a chemical and you have reason to believe that that chemical can harm the environment or harm public health, you're supposed to immediately report it.
There certainly was no report made to EPA, right?
Objection.
I'm not aware of a report.
3M was ultimately fined $1.5 million by the Environmental Protection Agency after the company failed to notify them of their studies involving the toxicity of their chemicals.
Even when they stopped making the products, they continued to subvert the science. You know, through the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the MO of the company was to take the path of putting their own profits ahead of the environment.
I think it could impact how the company is viewed.
And that would could eventually affect the bottom line of the company, right, in a very serious way.
Could affect,
Objection to form.
could affect our business, yes.
A business that at one point generated hundreds of millions of dollars every year.
It has been and is an incredibly powerful and influential company in the state of Minnesota.
But after dozens of 3M executives testified under oath, 3M ultimately agreed to settle the case in 2018 for $850 million.
After the lawsuit was filed and the documents became public, then they were sued thousands of times, I believe. They've been sued around the world.
3M still feeling the financial fallout for what is now a global problem.
3M knew some of this information going back decades and didn't tell the public. And so the consequences of that to the environment and human health, we may never fully know.
The company continues to make some PFAS chemicals to this day. And while 3M would not agree to an on-camera interview, a spokesperson says the company is on track to stop manufacturing of all PFAS chemicals globally by 2025. For the Fox 9 investigators, I'm Nathan O'Neill.